Good evening. This is Hungary Report, kicking off Public Media M1's foreign language news hour. I'm Balázs Bende. Thanks for joining us. Hungary and Russia have joined forces to fight for persecuted Christians. This is what Viktor Orbán and Vladimir Putin have agreed on during their talks in Budapest on Wednesday. The summit also focused on economic, energy and foreign policy issues. Altogether, 8 bilateral agreements have been signed. Probably the most important was about the extension of Hungary's energy supply.
8 agreements in total were signed between the Hungarian and Russian governments respectively on Saturday. For example, in the fields of health services, sports, social security and space research. Moreover, energy supply agreements were extended until 2025. In reflecting on Vladimir Putin's visit to Budapest, the Hungarian State Secretary for International Communication and Relations said on Thursday that every single meeting, whether there are 2 parties involved or whether it is international, have a sole purpose: to serve the Hungarian national interest. This is the contrast which can be compared to the politics that occurred before 2010. The future of Hungary was envisioned in light of a differing perception, with completely different interests in mind in 2010, Zoltán Kovács said. Vladimir Putin arrived to Budapest in the early afternoon hours of Wednesday. He was greeted by Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán. Following the meeting, the Prime Minister said that it is a tradition that they hold a Russian-Hungarian summit every year. Viktor Orbán emphasized that Hungary has persisted for the past 1,100 years within the triangle of Moscow, Berlin, and Istanbul. This was the case before and still stands today. Therefore, we are concerned with and will continue to be concerned with how Western structures can maintain ties of cooperation with Russia and how these alliances can improve in the future, Viktor Orbán said. Vladimir Putin highlighted Hungary's important role in gas shipment and raised other areas of energy as well. Hungary plays a significant role in that Russian oil and natural gas can be evenly distributed in Western Europe, Vladimir Putin said. One of the priority topics of the summit on Wednesday was the situation of Christian communities in the Middle East and North Africa. Vladimir Putin found it unacceptable that anyone would be persecuted for their religious affiliations. He also revealed that Moscow is prepared to work alongside Budapest in terms of supporting Christians. Viktor Orbán stressed that it is the duty of Hungarians that they should lend a hand of help to Christians in need beyond the boundaries of the country, as this is a very old tradition. The Prime Minister also added that through the Hungary Helps program, Hungary built schools and hospitals. Indeed, whole villages are rebuilt to where those who have fled can return to. The Russian president and the Hungarian Prime Minister met on Wednesday evening with Christian religious leaders of the Middle East, of which the head of government posted several photos on his Facebook page. He wrote, "2 countries, 1 goal, together for persecuted Christians."
The Hungarian government firmly rejects any generalized criticism about the rule of law in Hungary, but is always ready to respond to specific questions to its partners, said the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade in The Hague after meeting his Dutch counterpart. Péter Szijjártó added that Hungary builds its foreign policy on the basis of mutual respect, shows and at the same time expects respect in return. The minister said the government is always ready to answer specific inquiries, but as he put it, the best answer is the result of last year's parliamentary elections, where government parties received a record high support with a record high voter turnout. No more detours, roadworks on Highway M7 from now on. The renovated section between Balatonvilágos and Sóstó is now complete. Altogether, 20 kilometers have been renewed.
Traffic is undisturbed in both directions on Highway M7, on the section between Siófok-Sóstó and Zamádi, which has been renovated. There are no detours anymore. All traffic lanes are open since Thursday. Drivers say the renovations were necessary. It was a must, since people usually go towards Siófok, so this makes transit a lot easier, this man said. The roadworks on M7 on the side towards Croatia began last fall. Altogether, 20 kilometers were renovated, costing more than 9 million euros. The deterioration of the quality of the road surface is mainly due to freight traffic. This is why renovation was more than just scratching the surface. Not only the asphalt, but the entire base layer was replaced, Gábor has said. Roads will be renovated all over the country, the State Secretary for Transportation Policy said. László Mosóci added that it is a priority task of the government not only to expand the traffic network, but also to maintain the already existing infrastructure. More than 900 domestic roads will be improved. Roadworks are still ongoing. More than 166 project elements are still active on 900 kilometers. I am convinced that by continuing this major program, we can achieve a significant upgrade in road network quality in the next few years, the State Secretary said. He added that the oldest and most used highway sections will be renovated from domestic financial resources.
The final deadline for submitting banking customers' general beneficial ownership statements has passed. Every single customer or account owner who opened accounts before June 2017 has to reconcile personal data with the financial institutions, according to an EU regulation to prevent and combat of money laundering and financing terrorism. The rules apply to all customers of banks and insurance companies. Those who fail to give the beneficial ownership statement will not be fined, but the customer's account will be suspended until all data have been reconciled. All of Hungary is preparing for All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Only in cemeteries of Budapest, more than 1 million visitors are expected in the next couple of days. Most cemeteries will have longer opening hours and police sent reinforcements to the vicinity of the graveyards. Heavier traffic is also expected in these areas, so authorities ask everyone to be extra careful these days around cemeteries.
Commotion was great this morning at the market in Zalaegerszeg. Many already purchased wreaths on Thursday for their loved ones. Firstly, I would like to buy flowers and various types of little candles. I plan to go to the cemetery tomorrow morning. I will bring the wreath with me, which I pre-ordered ahead of time, László Domán said. The weather is quite favorable with regards to the conditions needed for chrysanthemums to thrive. Thus, many such flowers are available at markets. Alongside the traditional white kind, colorful variants are also readily available. There are potted plants as well as bouquets. This is Debrecen. The Molnár pair have already placed little candles and flowers on the graves of their loved ones on Thursday. They wanted to avoid the crowds expected on the weekend. We visit our parents and relatives. We're at the end of this list, at the last graves. Unfortunately, there are many graves to visit, László Molnár said. In Debrecen, the area surrounding the cemetery of Nagyerdő was already closed today. Those arriving by car could only park at a distance. Cemeteries will hold extended hours across the nation. Therefore, great crowds are expected all day long. In Szeged, for example, police and guard presence will increase in the coming days. This is Eged. Graves were adorned with little burning lights already on Thursday. Firemen have prompted those taking part to be mindful in lighting their candles. Oftentimes, firefighters are called upon as a response to fires that develop from tea lights and candles. These fires can be averted within the context of the cemetery if graves are carefully cleared from dry plants before candles are placed on them, Csaba said. Great traffic is expected on the roads. Correspondingly, experts have asked those driving to drive carefully and be mindful of one another while on the road.
The Wizards Tower of the Híradó University in Eger welcomes students and families for a fall matinee. On November 2nd, visitors can see and take part in chemistry experiments, treasure hunts, science game shows and pumpkin carving contests. On the last weekend of the fall break, the Wizards Tower offers everyone a lot of fun. The Folly Arboretum, right near Lake Balaton, welcomes hikers and tourists in the autumn too. 400 types of pines, 200 types of deciduous trees, cypresses, bushes and flowers give the visitors a Mediterranean ambiance. In the restaurant and vineyard, you can try the region's best wines and soft drinks made of local fruits. And that's all for now, but do stay with us and watch our German, Russian and Chinese language news. Thanks for watching us. Good night.